Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here, and today I'm going to connect with Ashley Pratt and find out what makes her an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. Before we get started, remember if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications, and don't forget to visit automathletesndy.com. All right, Ashley, let's get this thing started. Thanks so much for joining us today. Why don't you begin with an introduction?
Hi, I'm Ashley Pratt. I'm 39 years old. I reside in North Idaho. I've lived here the majority of my life. I have 4 children. I am currently training to do fit model for bodybuilding, and I've been working on that the last 15 months.
All right, well, great to meet you, Ashley. Thanks again for joining us today. And before we talk about more about that, what you're doing now, let's get a little history on you. So, were you athletic your whole life? Tell us a little bit about that.
Before 2020, I was doing some half Ironman, some half marathons. I had a nerve disease that put me down, had some life-changing things that went on, had surgeries, recuperation, which kind of led to once you're an athlete and then all of a sudden you're boom put down, depression. I gained a lot of weight, feeling sad for myself. And that led to me, I had an aha moment that I was like, hey, it's either make or break time. And 15 months ago, I decided to get into bodybuilding and do weights. The cardio world was at that time in my past because of the things that were going on. And here we are. I accomplished everything I set out to so far, and it's been a great journey.
Okay, we're going to get back to the bodybuilding in a second, but give us a little more detail on the problems that you had with your nerves and sort of fill us in on that whole situation.
Yeah, so I had a nerve disease that it was called, it's an ulnar nerve disease where the nerve died in my elbow. And they tried to do a release. Unfortunately, with how medical processes are, things take time. Get into the doctor, get into the specialist. Because my nerve was so cut off that by the time I got to the specialist and into surgery, it had died. So they did one surgery to see if it would work because it was a less invasive. And then um, gave it about 9 months to see if it would work. Did not work. So then we did a more invasive one, which meant like a 6 month recovery. That is where they actually move the nerve from here into your forearm. So I have this big, nasty scar there. I have one in my hand also because I had to have the nerve there also released, carpal tunnel surgery.
Mhm.
That put me down for about 2 years. And things were not the same. They're still not completely the same. My left arm and hand are still stronger than my right arm and my right hand. The blood flow is different, so um, training with that was slow and physical therapy for a long time.
Mhm.
So my cardio world was kind of left in the dust.
So you're doing the half marathons, triathlons, and things up to about 2020, had this issue, had the surgeries, about 2 years of being down. And then you started, is that when you had your aha moment to get into the bodybuilding, or did you just kind of start working your way back in? Kind of fill us in from that part where you were, depressed and out of shape and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then started moving into where you are now.
So my last surgery was February 2020. And 2 years I spent recuperating, trying to get the function back. I actually spent a year and I did a half Ironman with a coach who specialized in people who were, I don't want to say, had a handicap. And I actually was able to compete and finish it. But the process and the pain and everything I went through, that's where I knew I was done. So once that was finished, the next year, I felt like I lost myself. Like I was no longer going to be able to do these things.
Mm.
And I ate so much food. I was so depressed. I wouldn't even leave my house. I didn't leave my house for 2 months. And I just sat here with this ick. And it was really sad. And I had May of 2024, I had this huge aha moment where I like saw myself in the mirror. It wasn't just physical. It was it was like I saw inside and everything was sad. Like I feel like everyone kind of has been maybe in that moment once in their life. And my girlfriend, Catherine, just had posted on Facebook, and she had just competed in a show. And her and I grew up together. We have like the same body type. And when I saw it, I was like, you know what? That used to be on my bucket list when I was younger. And so I just got a hold of her, and she was like, get a hold of my trainer, meet with my trainer. And I met with, which is now my coach, Lydia Taylor from Top Gun Fitness, and it was a great fit. But where my body type was, I had never been in the weights world. My husband was. He's had experience with that, but not me. So she actually sent me to my other, which she's my opposing coach, but she's like a wellness coach.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be in the weights world. She just is there for everything. And I trained with her for 6 months where I had to be up to 5 days a week being able to weight train. And then I met back with Lydia, and she was like, all right, we can go now. So then I was accepted as an athlete at Top Gun Fitness in Spokane, Washington.
What is it that you're going to compete in? And right now we're talking here. It's early September of 2025. When is this competition coming that you're training for?
So October 11th, I believe, it is called Night of Champions. It is a bodybuilding competition slash bikini and fit model. It's in Spokane, Washington at Northern Quest Casino. And it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
What exactly is the fit model category, and how does that compare to maybe the bikini category? What's the differences?
So Fit Model is new. I believe it's only been around just this past year. It's a new division. The specs for it is more of a leaner body type, like a fitness body, like a all around. They want you very symmetrical. Bikini is more like bigger glutes, bigger shoulders, a thinner waist. The fit model is they want you cut and lean and, muscular, but more symmetrical and I don't want to say soft, but it's different.
Looking forward to that, but you're in prep right now for that. So tell us, how are you prepping? Give us an idea of your training routine, what you do, how you do it.
My wonderful trainer, Coach Lydia, she sends me, we do a weekly check in. And currently, we are 5.5 weeks out. So this changes and it can change for every body type. So for me, where I'm at, my protein, I'm at 150. I have 40 grams of fats and then 125 carbs a day. That's what I get. I do have a meal plan. I eat the same thing every day because for me to have the foods in my house with the family, to know exactly the portions, I mean, everything is weighed, meats, veggies, everything. I do 10,000 steps a day. I do 7 cardios weekly. Right now they're at 45 minutes and they're fasted. And then we also do 5 days of weight training.
Break your weight training down a little bit for what you do for this particular category. So, number of reps, heavy weights, light weights, those types of things.
Some days we do heavy, some days we do, 12 to 15 reps. I know like side laterals, we start with 30 reps and then we do 3 more sets of 15. It just depends daily on what we do and where you're at. Like, I think I'm pretty sure Lydia sends me a lot more glute exercises because that's what I need to build.
Mhm.
But she does specialize every workout for her athletes. Um, like I'll do shoulders, calves, and back, or like twice a week I'll have a mean ab workout, and that is like 4 sets of leg lifts with a superset of 3 sets of doing 30 reps of crunches. Like by the end, you're like crying. So, yeah, we do usually 1 to 2 supersets each workout, but it's all specialized like hip abductors. I do 3 times a week. And it'll sometimes start out at 30 reps, sometimes it starts at 20 reps, so you just adjust your weight. If I'm doing 30 reps, I mean, there's three different ways to do hip abductors. I do 80 for 30, or I'll do 100 for 15. Now if I'm bent over, that changes. I could do like 140 pounds during prep. You don't lift as heavy as when you're in, say, if you're not prepping for a show and you're doing building, like there's building seasons. I can do a lot heavier weights because I got a little more carbs in me.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of carbs in you, you mentioned a little bit about some of your macros there. What is your calorie count right now? Kind of give us an idea of, your height and weight, and what is your break-even calories, and are you running a deficit, and how much of a deficit are you running at this point, if you are?
Yeah, I'm definitely in the deficit. So I'm 5'6". When I first started, so when I first started, I was 160, but when I started prep, I was 140. I am, and that was, so I'm doing 3 months of prep. So I'm literally like right in the middle, or 4 months of prep, excuse me. And I'm 118 now.
Okay.
So we've been in a deficit, but it's not like it's not super fast. It is a gradual, which I appreciate,
Yeah.
but you feel it every day. Every time there's even like a little bit of a cut, you feel it. You can get a little dizziness and things like that.
Do you know
So
how many calories deficit you are in right
I
now?
don't know how many calories deficit.
Okay.
I just stick strictly to macros.
Gotcha.
So before prep, I was at like 230 carbs.
Yeah.
Today I'm at 125.
Are your cardio sessions like steady state stuff? Are you doing some sort of cross training circuitry? What do you do for your quote unquote cardio sessions?
So for 45 minutes, for me, you have to just keep your heart rate at 125. So I do the treadmill. Depending on the day, some days I feel a little weaker than others. So, like my incline will be a 14 and my pace is about a 2.8.
Mhm.
Some days it is at my incline's at a 10 and I'm going at 2.7. Just as long as you keep your heart rate at that 125.
So, what do you do for rest? How do you fit it in with kids and business and training and delirium from deficits? How do you fit all that in?
I will say I am sleeping better, um, like a lot harder. During the day, I think for me personally, caffeine and keeping busy actually helps. If you're sitting on the couch and you're just sitting there thinking about food and being hungry or watching a cooking show, that would be torture to me. I'm not at a super fast pace, but I'm consistently moving. I clean my house. I'm consistently driving my kids. I mean, cooking dinner, everything like that's actually the hardest. Making separate meals for your family. That's what gets me. I cried over bacon last week. I did. I had a nervous breakdown and cried over bacon. But just staying busy. Yeah, I actually do like it. I'll rest if I'm feeling weak and I go and sit down and put my feet up. That's when my husband knows like mom needs a second.
What would be your advice to someone who was in your spot, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? What would you say to them to get them to where you are now?
I believe that when anyone wants to change, there has to be that point of I'm all in. Because if you're not all in, you won't stay consistent. You just have to be willing to change your mindset. You can't be in that I can't do it. You have to be that I can do it, and do whatever it takes. Because if you're not in that, you will go right back to how you were. If you're not willing to listen to podcasts, to find a coach, to see what other people are doing, if you're not willing to do that, then you won't. You'll just go right back to where you were.
So, Ashley, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today to let us know what makes you an autumn athlete that's not done yet. I'd like to close up shop here by giving you the floor to give us some final thoughts.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Number one thing, I am 39. I changed my entire body, mind, and spirit. If I can do it, I promise you can too.
There you go, folks. Ashley Pratt. She is definitely an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, and train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.